Hi-yo, everyone. I am Nathan Blake.
And I'm Emily.
And welcome back to Steins Gate. I think this is part 4 now. So if you haven't seen any of the series before, there was a playlist up here in the top corner. You can check that out. For now, what happened in our last episode, essentially up to this point, was we were talking to an alpaca man on a television, right?
Yes, and you ran away from a dead girl, and then time went whoop, 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 whoop.
What was that again? Lean in here just a little closer. Tell me one more time. Alright, so after dealing with our alpaca man, the TV, it's clear that we weren't getting anything out of our alpaca man, so we smacked the TV and moved on. I didn't realize we could pull out our phone whenever we wanted. Mailbox. Inbox. Oh, well that's not normal. That's not, I wouldn't expect that to be on our phone.
Pocket text.
Huh?
Pocket email?
Yeah? I'm not sure how to... Okay, there we go. Let's see about Outbox. No mail. Ooh, well, let's pick our wallpaper. You want the blue one, the yellow one, or the red one?
I can't see what's in the red one. Is that a book?
I think it's a planet. Preview it.
No.
Oh, it's blood.
It's blood. Let's not do blood.
It's a murder scene.
The yellow one looks like a star. I can't tell what the blue one is.
I think the blue one's the one we already have, which is essentially just like clocks and stuff.
Looks more like circles?
Yeah.
Like a compass kind of setup. Maybe someone who's an engineer would use those kind of drawings.
Right.
Blueprints.
Alright, put away our phone. Sorry about that. We had to take care of it. Couldn't do without.
You look at your phone a lot.
Yep.
You want it to be nice to look at.
I curse his name and smack the TV. As soon as I do, the TV makes a sound like it's shorted, and then the screen goes blank. I change the channel. Nothing. Check the power cable. Nothing. Whack it again. Nothing. That's called... I think that's called percussive engineering. Any thoughts on percussive engineering?
It's not working for him today.
I guess it's broken. This crummy TV is on lease from the Braun Tube Workshop downstairs. It's probably just old.
You made Mr. Alpaca angry.
I'll have to get it repaired later. I turn off the TV and lie down on the couch. I'm fed up with the humidity of Japanese summers. I stare at a conspicuous stain on the ceiling while fanning myself. Oh, there's a nice little eye close animation on the picture.
I hope we get to see the stain on the ceiling. I wonder why it's conspicuous.
Just because you can see it easily if you look up at the ceiling. I close my eyes, and what naturally comes to mind is that impossible scene I saw an hour ago.
Aww.
They're gone. As I left Radi-Kan, everyone vanished before my eyes. I can't explain it. And it wasn't just the people on the street. The people in the stores, gone. In the restaurants, gone. Even the cars vanished, drivers and all. And it all happened in the blink of an eye. Suddenly, an empty city spread before me. I could still hear the music from the stores, but those catchy melodies were the only sounds of life remaining. Heat was rising from the asphalt in waves, but I felt only a cold chill down my spine. I just stood there, breathless, until...
What's wrong?
Mayuri's voice brought me back to reality. Mayuri hadn't disappeared. She was right there, looking at me with questioning eyes. Everyone's disappeared just now, right?
Huh?
You saw it too, right? Just now, before our very eyes. Panic took hold, an enormity of what had just happened struck me. Unable to control myself, I grabbed Mayuri by her slender shoulders and shook her. Did you see it, Mayuri? You saw it, right?
Huh?
Mayuri's head flopped back and forth from my shaking.
I didn't see anything.
You didn't? I stopped shaking her and looked straight into her eyes. She returned my gaze with eyes clear as glass marbles. You saw nothing. Nothing at all. There were people here a second ago, weren't there?
There were?
Even the store employees are gone. That's impossible by any measure.
Of course they are.
Her reply didn't make any sense.
It was like this when we got here. Oh, I know. You're seeing things, aren't you? I'm sure it's 'cause of the heat. Doo-doo!
How could she laugh at a time like this? I always thought she was a bit strange, but maybe her brain is actually broken. I mean, you're the one that saw, like, everything go blah, 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 blah. So I feel like it would be Rintarou's brain that's broken and not hers, if anyone's was. I realized that she couldn't help me. With nowhere else to turn, I looked up at the bright blue sky. There wasn't a cloud in sight. The scorching summer sun shone bright through the gaps between Okabe's buildings. Naturally, my eyes drifted to the top floor of Radi-Kan, where I had been just a moment before. Boom! There it was, an enormous machine, like some kind of satellite embedded in the roof of the building, where, not 5 minutes before, I had found Makise Kurisu's body in a pool of blood. What happened to her? Just before everyone disappeared, I could have sworn I heard an ambulance siren. Makise Kurisu might still be in that dark, narrow passageway, cold, bloody, and alone. The thought disturbed me, but the question at the forefront of my mind was, what is that satellite doing there? Right before Dr. Nakabachi's presentation, the building shook like a bomb and exploded. The roof door lock had been broken, and beyond it, someone had placed a satellite-like machine shrouded in smoke and glowing dust. When I first saw it, the satellite was on the rooftop. But that's not what I was seeing now. This satellite had penetrated the top floor of the building, obliterating the room where Dr. Nakabachi's press conference had been held. It must have fallen out of orbit without burning up in the atmosphere somehow. I knew it was crazy, but what other explanation could there be? The real question was, when did that happen? Mayuri, about that satellite.
Yep, what a surprise, huh?
What do you mean? What was a surprise?
It made a huge kapow sound.
She just had eyebrows appear on her head. It's great. Like, they weren't there, and when she moved to say this sentence, eyebrows appeared.
She's intense right now. She has eyebrows.
A huge kaplow. It certainly did make a sound, but I don't think it was kaplow. I'd say it was more like zoom. Did that satellite fall out of the sky?
Did it? Do you think any aliens were on board?
Had I lost my mind? What I had seen didn't match at all with what Mayuri was saying. Suddenly, nothing seemed real. Had I dreamt it all? Hey, you two! Just then a uniformed policeman ran up to us, his expression stern. What do you think you're doing here? This area is off limits. You have to leave.
We're sorry.
First, my good man, let's call you Officer A. I have a question. Officer A? Thousands of people just vanished. You saw it too, didn't you? What are you talking about? Get out of here. I was quickly losing confidence in my own memories. I decided to tell him about Makise Kurisu and get him to call an ambulance, but before I could... Look, I don't have time for your nonsense. The policeman took me by my upper arm and said, "No one got stabbed at Radi-Kan." What? How could he say that with such certainty? While I was still trying to comprehend the situation, the policeman forcefully led us away.
Weird.
We were escorted to UPX and released.
So had you talked to him before you, had your weird time whoosh, whoosh, whoosh moment? Or did he have some kind of reason to know that you were going to tell him someone got stabbed?
I don't know.
Otaku. A term for people with an obsessive interest in a particular topic. Oh, nerds. Hobbyists. Most often refers to fans of anime, manga, and video games. But there are also train otaku, military otaku, electronic otaku, on and on, etc., etc., etc.
Oh, we're cutting deep with the King and I references. UPX. Fictional, a major office building in Akihabara. Oh, I forgot. It actually, straight up tells us if the thing that it's talking about is fictional or not, so that we can, when it gives a description of, otaku or something, that's, at least a decent description of what otaku means. But if it's something that doesn't exist, it's, fictional, which is neat. There were people at UPX, like usual. Actually, there were far more people than usual. The place was packed. Just as Officer A had said, Druodori had been blockaded by police, so nobody could enter. There was nothing we could do, so we headed back to the lab. And that brings us to the present. I'm baffled. Did the whole hour since the beginning of Nakabachi's presentation really happen? I check online for any news. The net is buzzing about the mysterious machine that crashed into Radi-Kan. All of the major stations in Tokyo, even To TV, are running special bulletins about it. To TV! Fictional, a television network based in Tokyo. To TV airs more anime than other commercial television networks, making it a favorite among otaku. When a major news story breaks in Tokyo, most stations interrupt regular programming to deliver a special bulletin. To TV is the exception, which has given rise to the joke, if To TV cuts to a special bulletin, the apocalypse is nigh.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Fortunately, it doesn't look like anyone was hurt, but Chuodori is still closed off. Akihabara Station is jammed with reporters and curious onlookers. Nobody has mentioned anything about the disappearance of thousands of people from Akiba's streets, nor about Makise Kurisu's murder. It's all a mystery. A mystery. I see. So that's it. From the sofa I spring to my feet, a wide grin on my face. Daru and Mayuri turn and stare. This is all an elaborate cover-up by the organization. Their influence has corrupted local law enforcement, which means our entire government may already be under their control. My goodness. But they underestimated me, for I am not easily played. One day I will expose their deeds and put an end to their reign. Having come to a satisfactory conclusion, I take a celebratory bottle of Dr. P, my favorite soda, from the fridge.
That's great.
The lab has no air conditioning. Ice-cold drinks are essential. Elixir intellectualis, a drink fit for a genius. Cola's better.
Ocarina really loves his Dr. P.
I pity the man who knows not the greatness of this beverage. Step through the curtain dividing its center and you'll enter the heart of the future lab... blah, 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 blah. The heart of the future gadget laboratory, the development room. Just as the name implies, this is the room where the future gadgets are developed. Needless to say, it is strictly off limits to outsiders. Yes, I read that in the wrong order, but it still came out as a coherent sentence. Yes, I know the setup is cheap. I would much rather have an airlock than a curtain. But our research budget is already scraping the bottom of the barrel. Besides, what's important isn't money, it's ambition. I poke Daru and bid him follow me into the development room. All of the windows here are weather stripped with packing tape, so it's dim and hot, almost like a sauna. Whew. I've been wanting to buy an air conditioner for the lab, but there's no money for that. We're currently accepting donations. I love that half of the things that Okabe says are like him asking us as players to join the lab or send him money or things like that. Upon entering the development room, I pick up the lab coat that's lazily draped on the chair and put it on. Look, there's a 7-up. Actually, I think it's a 9-up.
That's great.
Which is also from the Dr. P company, by the way. I always wear a lab coat in the development room for practical reasons as well as symbolic ones. Daru, however, refuses to wear his. Putting it on and taking it off is apparently too much trouble for him. He can't be bothered to do anything that doesn't interest him. It's men like him who give our generation a bad name. Darn millennials!
It's hot.
Stupid millennials!
Sorry, it's hot.
Millennials.
Okay.
His lab coat, purchased from my own pocket money, I might add, just sits on the shelf. It's never been worn, and probably never will be. Daru, is the plan progressing smoothly? What plan? Daru gives me a blank look. I sigh and turn his attention to the table in the middle of the room. Sitting majestically on top of the table is a commercial-grade microwave oven. It's significantly larger than newer models. Yeah, that looks like my grandparents actually had. It was called a radar range, like one of the really early microwaves, and it had like an oven door with a handle like that, and it had a giant start button. So you'd like adjust knobs, and then you'd press this big rectangular silver start button that went ka-chunk when you pressed it. Ka-chunk, and then the whole thing would power.
And then you'd run away.
Yeah, my grandparents legitimately said, you probably shouldn't stand too close to that. It also cooked food like that, like way faster than a modern microwave, which is scary, actually.
Yeah.
The plan obviously, I'm talking about perfecting gadget number 8. Oh, that. How was I supposed to know what you meant? We've known each other for what, 3 years now? We went to high school together, and now we're going to the same university. We share an inseparable bond, like prison cellmates. He's only been a lab member for 2 months, though. We were in different classes junior year, and actually, we didn't talk at all. So, 2 years? Details. The point is, we've known each other a long time. I expect you to keep up with me here. N-O-P-E. Awkward silence. Man, all I wanted to do was have one of those cool, cryptic conversations where we talk about plans and preparations and other important sounding stuff, but no. No one knows what it means except us. Shot down again. So, are we any closer to figuring out what's wrong with gadget number 8? Not yet. The internet! FutureGadgetLab.com. So far, the Future Gadget Laboratory has completed a total of 8 inventions. As I explained to Alpaca Man, the lab's primary goal is to develop weapons for war against the Dark Dominion, led by the organization that rules the world from the shadows. At present, we haven't completed any inventions of that sort. On the contrary, we haven't even figured out what we should make. But, along the way, we have managed to create some ingenious future-ish gadgets as a byproduct of our work. It is a fundamental truth of science that great inventions are often created by accident. In other words, serendipity.
Okay, we're gonna learn about serendipity, huh?
Yeah! Okay,
Microwave oven. A cooking appliance which heats food by bombarding it with microwaves. Originally called radar range.
See, like I said, the radar range.
Yeah. The microwave was invented when a radar technician accidentally discovered that electromagnetic waves could warm food. Afterwards, research continued, and the consumer appliance version was launched in America in 1947. It emits electromagnetic waves at a frequency of 2.45 GHz.
Gigahertz.
Okay, I was trying to figure out what G stood for. Gigahertz. This is a special frequency known as ISM band, which is also used by wireless LAN devices. Consumer-grade output is around 500 to 1,000 watts, and commercial-grade output is around 1,500 to 2,000 watts.
Although the 1,200 range has become a lot more regular for in-homes. Yeah, so the one that my grandparents had was a radar range. As apparently, what I've been told at least, is there was a guy working with radio waves and he had a burrito. His burrito exploded and was really hot because it was cooking it. And so then he was like, you know what, I can use this to cook food.
Pretty great. Also pretty scary. He's like, I'm right next to this thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and the 2.4 band, the reason it says a special frequency known as ISM band, which is also used by wireless LAN devices, that's 2.4 and 5 gigahertz are the two frequencies that we use for Wi-Fi. So technically there's all these radar waves traveling around.
But they're not all microwaving your food.
Correctly. Correctly?
They're not microwaving them correctly because they're not warm.
Right, yeah, the waves are not concentrated, so they're not doing that, from what I understand. Serendipity! The ability to discover something valuable when looking for something else. The microwave oven was born through serendipity. I thought it was more like fate. Something serendipitous, I thought, was like whenever...
It was originally developed because of the Brothers of Serendipity, who they would meet people or come across situations on their journeys, their fictional journeys, which would converge really well for the story. A lot of plot convenience.
Right. So, I mean, yeah, I kind of thought it was more like plot convenience and fate, as opposed to just discovering something when you're looking for something else. But, allow me to introduce our glorious future gadgets. Gadget number 1, the Bit Particle Gun. Gadget number 2, the Bamboo Helicam. Gadget number 3, could this be Aura? Gadget number 4, Mode Snake. Gadget number 5, once again, I've made a worthless object by Goemon. Gadget number 6, the Siloom Saber. Gadget number 7, Ghost in the Ball. They can all be seen on the website Daru made, so feast your eyes upon the product of a mad scientist genius. Anyway, our current problem is future gadget number 8, the phone wave, name subject to change. Which in the anime, he calls it Real Name TBA, which is the reason why this series is called Real Name TBA. Alright, we've got a lot to learn real quick. The Bit Particle Gun, future gadget number 1, the very first future gadget, a toy ray gun with a TV remote jammed inside. You can change the channel by pointing at the TV and pulling the trigger. However, the only supported button is Channel Plus, so no other buttons like volume are usable. To turn the TV on, you must manually flip the switch on the TV. Its name is a reference to the classic Japanese robot anime Mobile Jacket Gunbam. Which is a reference to Mobile Suit Gundam, which is a real
Gundam
anime.
Style?
No, that's Korea.
Sorry.
Bamboo Helicam, future gadget number 2, a CCD camera mounted to a bamboo toy helicopter. Camera is attached to the helicopter's fulcrum, allowing it to record aerial footage unpowered. Moreover, the image is rotating at high speed, so you might get dizzy if you keep looking at it. Name originates from the sci-fi manga 22 Eman.
A really bad drone camera.
Yep. Could this be Aura Aura? Future gadget number 3, a lie detector based on thumb perspiration. Though it might be more appropriate to call it a sweat detector, you have to admit it's a pretty clever invention. Its name is a reference to the classic manga Juju's Bizarre Adventure. So, like, you saw that game theory on it, so that's JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and it's the exact same concept. That's fantastic. We watched that like yesterday. Mode Snake! Future gadget number 4. An instant super humidifier uses electric heating coils to quickly boil a large volume of water. This generates enough steam to fill a room of 12 square meters, though it can only be operated continuously for a few seconds. It looks like a Claymore landmine, which appeals to military otaku. Its name is a reference to the stealth action game Metal Moe Solid Rising, which is, Metal Moa Solid Rising, which is a reference to, Metal Gear Solid Rising.
Isn't it already humid enough there?
Yes, but it's more like a whole room just instantly filled with fog, essentially. It's a fog explosion. Once again, I made something worthless by Goemon. Future gadget number 5, created by combining a dryer and a vacuum. The dryer is operated using the exhaust of the vacuum. Its name is reference to the popular anime Lupin the Third. This is pretty great. Sayaluma Saber. Future gadget number 6, a red chemical glow stick with a handle attached, allowing one to grip it like a sword. Made possible not just with Future Gadget laboratory hardware, but also with chemical knowledge, inspired by Spark Wars, a series of epic sci-fi movies.
Star Wars?
Yes. Ghost in the Ball, mobile armored riot camouflage ball. Future gadget number 7, a gadget created by arranging 12 6-inch CRT monitors in a sphere. Small CMOS cameras are installed in the gaps between the monitors, each connected to the monitor on the opposite side of the sphere. This attempt at practical optical camouflage is the greatest masterpiece among the completed future gadgets, but its sheer size makes it difficult to store. Its name is derived from the sci-fi manga Ghost in the Husk, Ghost in the Shell, which has an anime adaptation. This is an actual thing that they have made. I can't remember if it was in China or Japan, but they actually came up with a design for a camera, a projector, and a screen. So essentially you can film the thing behind you and the projector projects onto you and makes it difficult to see you. Which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Well, early cloaking technology.
Yeah, we haven't gotten cloaks yet, so. Alright, so the phone wave! Real
Just
name
check.
TBA. Phone wave is a pretty weak name, so I'm added name subject to change to the end until we come up with something better. For the record, it was Mayuri's idea, not mine. When a future gadget is completed, the three of us discuss what to name it. I prefer names based on mythology or names with hidden meanings that need extra explanation to understand.
Because he likes to talk.
I like names that make me seem smart. Daru thinks my naming style too ridiculous. He just doesn't have a passion for words like I do. Mayuri can't be bothered to remember difficult names. She says they don't fit in her head. And so our opinions on gadget names are always split. But I digress. The phone wave, real name TBA, is in short a remote-controlled microwave. You put food into the microwave before you leave. Then on your way back, call the attached cell phone to start the heating process. Voila! Hot food ready for your arrival. So it's basically a piece of junk. A few days ago, however, we discovered that the phone wave, real name TBA, has a second unintended capability. Our brave, or possibly just ditzy Mayuri, had made it her daily routine to heat some frozen fried chicken by remote control. Long story short, she was defrosting her beloved juicy chicken number 1, as usual, when the unexpected happened. The chicken came out more frozen than she put it in. The microwave refroze the chicken. Since then, Daru and I have been searching for the cause. We tried copying what Mayushi did, but we just can't reproduce the freezing phenomenon. And when we tried to freeze a banana, it turned out really weird. I just don't get it. Daru, now looking completely fed up with the heat, starts fanning himself with his shirt. I know what he means by really weird. Let's see if we can't make it happen again. Mayuri, bring forth the bananas.
Are you gonna turn them into gel bananas again?
Gel bananas, I guess? That's been bugging me, Mayushi. Can you stop calling them gel bananas?
But gel bananas are gel bananas.
I take the bananas from Mayuri and stick the whole bunch into the phone wave. Name subject to change.
Why do you have to use the whole bunch? It's a waste of food.
Your stinginess could cost us the battle with the organization.
That's fine with me. Miyushi's always buys the bananas, and now Mayushi can't eat a single one.
Next time, we'll only do one banana. But I already put the whole bunch in, so I ignore her hungry complaints. The phone wave, name subject to change, is simple to use. It's a microwave with a phone taped on. The number is already in my address book. I just need to call the phone wave. Now, where did I put my phone? Check my pants and coat pockets. Where did I put my phone? Oh, I see. It is prompting me to do the thing. Okay, we're going mail, outbox. Nope, that's not what I need. Oh, I need to go to address book. Phone wave, call. I'm connected.
Hello, this is the phone wave, name subject to change.
Oh, this is the voice of Mayushi's guidance. The system Daru programmed to operate the phone wave.
Do you hear Mayushi's voice?
Be quiet, I'm trying to listen.
You can operate the timer from this menu. After pushing the number button, please enter the heating time in seconds. For example, press number 60 for 1 minute. For 2 minutes, press number 120.
Entering the command properly will cause the phone wave, name subject to change, to function like a normal microwave. Instead, we're going to deliberately mess up and enter 120 pound. That should do it. This method was originally a simple mistake on Mayuri's part, but it somehow starts the freezing process. The phone wave, name subject to change, comes to life. The turntable begins to rotate. Nice turntable, right? It's even spinning backwards. Backwards? I never noticed that. That might have serious implications if we look at quantum critical behavior driven by Hund's rule. The rule governing the placement of an atom's electrons. Orbitals of the same energy are each filled with one electron of the same spin before any are filled with a second. Also known as Hund's rule of maximum multiplicity.
Yeah, this is something they talk about in chemistry.
Ah! I skipped chemistry.
Because you were just too smart.
Just didn't require the credits.
You could have loved it. Who knows?
I probably would have. Yeah, no. Not Hund's rule? No. Okay.
It's like you're talking in a molecular.
The three of us wait and stare at the spinning bananas. After 120 seconds pass, the microwave chimes. Mayuri takes the bananas out.
Gel bananas are ready. Ugh.
The bananas have become not bananas. Gelatinous blobs coated with a thin membrane. After Mayuri discovered that the phone wave, name subject to change, had a freezing function, we attempted to freeze a bunch of bananas. This is what happened. Just gets more confusing each time. Daru, you wouldn't mind eating one of these, would you? Of course you wouldn't. It's for science. Your sacrifice will forever be remembered. It will be remembered next time, because, yeah, we've been at this for a little while. This is probably going to be an extra long one, but that's fine. And we've got, obviously, some pretty interesting things have been happening. Mm-hmm. Really got into an interesting spot here. So.
He's not going to eat bananas.
I don't know. You're going to find out if Daru will eat any bananas next time on Steins Gate Part 5 will be the next one, I think. So, ooh, and this is the music. Yeah. This is the title music for the game. So, all right, well, I want to thank you all so much for being here. As always, we will see you in the next one. If you want to see more videos like this, please like and comment below. Let us know what you think of the story so far and what you think is going to happen next. No spoilers if you actually know what's going to happen next. Yeah. For now, this is Nathan Blake and
Emily
signing off for Nathanblakegames. And remember that games are art and art is important. Sayonara.